I don't think it helps to jump into.
Hello guys, today, oh my god, today we are reacting on Jacob Zuma, and as you can see, the caption says, "We fail Jacob Zuma as South Africans. We fail Jacob Zuma as South Africans." I don't know why they say we fail Jacob Zuma as South Africans. Jacob Zuma was like, "Now I'm tired of being president." And you also feel as a country, those politicians are the same, definitely are all the same. It's true, he failed on us. We now fail him. He failed us as South Africans. Towards someone else, not Zuma. They are making big mistake. Yes, with you. Okay, let's go and see him.
Phrases that I don't think it helps to jump into phrases that if somebody talks about the land,
Okay, like this is the truth, man. When someone talks about the land, it's like we're hating white people. It's not like that. Even, for example, Julius Malem, when talk about the land, it's not like he hate the whites. It's just that it's a guilty. Like the guilty. Guilty will make you feel like that. It's going to make you think like that. The guilty. Because of it's very important to talk about the history, what happened during 30 years, 31 back, what happened to black people. And Juliet, Jacob Zuma saying like, doesn't mean when we talk about the land, we are hating specific people. It's all about finding equality, finding you're all the same. Nothing much, nothing less. I know like sometimes talk about the this thing of the land is a problem. You understand? Is very so problematic.
the land hunger.
The land hunger. The land is the hunger. When you start talking about the land, yo, you hate these people. It's not about that. It's about fixing the country. Just like people they hate Julius Malema because of we talk about the land. Lots of whites be like Julius Malema hates white. They say like me, I love white people. Even black people love white people, and it's right. Lots of black people they love white people. They want to be like them. They put weaves. They speak English because they want to be like them. They abandon their culture. They become Christianity. They do things that white people do because of they want to fit in. It's not about the hate, but if this guy is a leader, he's going to speak the truth that's going to save this country, the truth that's going to make us equality.
Then is hating the whites. And how else could you describe those who own the land?
Yeah, definitely. This is a good question. How can you describe those who own the land? Based on the stats, we see the stats like these people that are owning 72%, 70 or 72. I don't know, is it reduced or increased this year, but I know they own 70% of the land. And he asked a good question. How can you describe for those who grab the land? Why you should call them, you should describe them as what? We should put them as what so that it may not sound like hating. Tell us in the comment section. How? If you know, like, you can just come and comment. Which is, I will love that. I will enjoy that. Which is a good question. Like, how, what we should call them, how should we describe them?
How do you describe them if you don't say what happened?
Definitely. If we don't say what happened, how should we describe them? But the said thing, you were president, Jacob Zuma. You were president. You never talk about the land. You never decide about sharing. Why now? Because we all know, like, you went to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of Africa continent. We were like, it make sure it stop their gold to go outside to go to Western stop them. And like now, Burkina Faso is running its own economy with their own minerals. And based on the stats, based on the news trend, they say they make around billions using their own minerals. They open the business, the factories that are running to make Burkina Faso great again without any assistance of a Western. Western are the one that uh keep us poor as black people because of they want to benefit alone, they want to eat alone. So just sorry, Jacob Zuma visited there just to know, maybe to take notes. How can this thing happen in South Africa? I don't know, but he visited there, and we're going to talk about the struggle that we went through and the struggle of not owning the land. You understand? So yeah,
We are not even talking about the history, what happened.
definitely. We are not talking about the history. Why we are not talking about the history? Because the history reminds those who stole the land. They don't become comfortable. You know, like when you stole something and you are busy, you are busy enjoying it. You stole it and people they were not talking about it. They just talk about it. You enjoy it nicely. You enjoy it very well. But the moment they talk about it, you start to be like to panic, you start to shake. So like, oh my god, these people now they know I stole this. You start to be you can see them in the comment section there. You can see them, you can go to my videos. You can see them in the comment section there. Man, shaking, but it's very important to talk about it. It's very important to share our opinions based on this. Um, which is good to talk about it, to share opinion, to say what happened during apartheid. And it's a good thing. Why, if we don't talk about what happened, what is our history then? What is our history? Because we need to talk about it.
Many of those people did not buy the land.
Definitely, they did not. We all know that they did not. And they say like, black people must buy the land. Hey, 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 hey. With what money? Let me tell you the system of South Africa. If you listen carefully, let me tell you the system of South Africa. The system goes like this. The system go like this, right? Listen carefully. They send us to school. They give us our parents social grants. They give us 3/5, right? While they are owning our minerals, while they are owning our land, and then you go to school. When you finish, you go to university. After university, you're going to work. You don't have time to think about the land. You don't have time to think about running the business. The only time you have is to clean and go to the workplace again. Go to work. That's what black people are created in South Africa. It's a system created black people as workers.
And we don't want to talk about that.
You see, like people at the background, they say like, "Wow, our president." People say like, "Wow, no one ever speak about this. You are the first person to speak about this." That's why, like, you see the round of the applause, the background, clapping for this president, Jacob Zuma.
We now know that as settlers arrived,
Yeah, we now know settlers have arrived. And settlers, they came with their own rules, Western rules that you must follow. Lots of black people, they lost their culture, others their Christianity. Hey, it's bad for black people. In Africa, now we have Muslims coming. Ooh, it's so bad. But like based on the settlers, they came with their own rules and they want to divide this country. For example, Cape Independency or Rania, those things they want to divide our country. I don't know if you guys are going to allow it to happen or we should focus on that. You know, we can't have people who have their own currency, their own rules within a country. And when you check, these people are from Europe. No, 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 no.
There were people who were distributing land, and there are specific histories we know. We don't want to talk about that. That's why we just talk about correcting the past.
Definitely, that's the plan. Correcting the past. That is a good plan. Correcting what happened during that time and how can we fix that. That is the best that need to be happened. Correcting the past. That's how we can be all equal in this country. When correct the past. So if you don't correct the past, what will happen to us? It is inequality. So others they say like us are going to keep the land storage during apartheid, you must stay in the squatter camp and then let's continue while they're still benefiting, while they're still eating.
Because you can give details what happened. Many people died.
Many people died for nothing, while black people are still struggling, stay in the shacks, stay in the small box of matches. No one talks about that. They died for nothing. Those who benefited, they are still enjoying this life today.
That's not the point we want to talk about. If we were driven by hatred, we will be saying, this is what happened. We are not just saying, let us find a way, a formula to solve this problem.
Don't tlhagela. I don't think tlhagile. It's through my life. Yeah?